strange night, guys. That's all I'm going to say. But we move on to what could be the closest match of the night. Given there's been two 7-5s, it sounds a little wild to say. But Hasib Warriors take on Daystar in our final match. And this has really serious repercussions for Daystar, but also for Hasib. Hasib currently with 0 points, nothing to their name. They have struggled to even look competitive. I know that sounds really harsh to say, and I do not like being negative, guys, but sometimes you've got to call it when you see it, and I think the EPS might even just tell us what we need to know.
Yeah, and in a way, Hasib are also batting for knock-knock in this instance as well to keep them up in the top 6 as well. If Daystar get a result across the line, they will jump ahead of them. For Hasib more specifically, though, they go into tonight with a negative 21 round differential. Unfortunately, it has been struggle street again for this roster in South Asia as a whole. As for Daystar, they themselves only with the one victory as well that came in the first week against the South Asian counterparts of Knock Knock. Now for Daystar, the result is a little bit more intriguing for them if they are to win tonight, to fulfill the expectation that they're going to.
Oh, bye guys.
Oh,
I guess
bye.
that was just
I
one
thought
way
that
to
was
get
me.
out of here.
I genuinely thought it was me, Jake. I thought it was me.
I'm not gonna lie, there was a half a second where I thought it was me as well. These things happen from time to time, but I'll just kind of carry on here for Daystar. They're a team that I've personally kind of labeled as like above South Asia, but definitely below Southeast Asia. They're in that little middle pack at the moment. I think they showed some really good sign to begin the stage back on the first couple of play days. They got 4 rounds against Direwolves. They then were able to go and beat Knock Knock, which I think validated my thoughts about being above the bottom 2, if you will, but trying to compete with SCA. The problem for me has actually been kind of since that very first week, those first 2 play days. 7-1 loss to Shalita, 7-1 loss to Elevate. Guess this, 7-1 loss to Fury, and now they, well, you know, end up into this game against the Hasib Warriors, which I don't think will be a 7-1 loss. Good news for Daystar. So, look, they've got to be able to win this game, sets them up then against Bleed, which is a very difficult task. But you win this game, and you then become a statistical favorite to get into the top 6. That's playoffs, that's best of 3, that's more experience.
Certainly is, and something they're going to sorely need come stage 2. So let's move on to the vetoes. Figure out where we're going for this matchup. I hope it's something standard. We get Chalet banned out straight away. That's the first ban, Jake. I can't believe that. If I see Clubhouse go as well, I'll be in tatters. What?
Mate.
No way.
No,
where are we
no
going?
Chalet and no Clubhouse. We're on Cloud 9 right now as we get the cafe banned out and we go to Bank where we kicked off tonight. So we head there once again. It was Shalita and Direwolves where we started off, and now we'll get Daystar and Hasib Warriors, which there's a little bit of, I guess, not deja vu in a sense, but more so the fact that I said at the beginning of the night, the Shalita Direwolves game was the really difficult one to predict. I'm going to be honest, I had some difficulties with this game too. Hasib Warriors, Daystar, I did flip-flop a little bit. You know, I like to go with a bit of a flip and a bit of a flop, but in the end, I think I ended up going for Daystar. I just gave them the benefit of the doubt. Curious to see how they're going to go on Bank. Again, we don't really have a lot of information. The only match of Bank we had this stage was earlier tonight. So that's just the only sample we've got.
Yeah, I think maybe some people might be sitting there thinking, why the hell did I just yell? The fact that we saw Chalet, Border, Oregon, Sky, like all the mains in these neck of the woods, I genuinely thought we'd end up seeing something more like an Oregon or a Chalet. But no, they're not playing funny buggers in all. In actual fact, they kind of are playing funny buggers to that point. So, look, if you will, we go to Bank, as you mentioned, Jake. It's the second time we're seeing it for this. Michael! We found
I don't know what happened.
Oh my
Guys,
God.
I couldn't tell that I was frozen because we're on a static graphic, and I could hear you guys yapping. Zenox sounded like a robot for like 3 seconds. I was like, oh, Jake, your internet's cooked. Apparently it was me, I guess. I don't know. I had some really good points. I don't know how much of it got cut off, but I was dropping some big fat Daystar lore, and you guys didn't get to hear it. So
No, we didn't get to hear any of it.
We hear it in the post-match when they win.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so sure, mate. I was talking about how Daystar are likely to lose this game, but you didn't hear it.
So, sorry,
I gave my 20-page manifesto as to why they're going to lose this game.
Well, fortunately, do you want to expand on that? Don't worry about it. We don't have time. Let's go to Bank and Dev Mandy, enjoy the game.
No, I would love to enjoy this game, Rob. I really would, and I think I might. And I would like to listen to what Guz had to say, but unfortunately, I won't be able to because, Mandy, I picked Hasib Warriors for this game. I think I was the only one to do that. I did. Hasib
Really?
winless. What did I say before? I think I said something really clever to the production before we started. This match is the team that has not won a single match in the league versus the team that has won a single match in this league. What a head-to-head. Daystar, they took a win against Knock Knock, and that's all they've got. They've been 7-1, 3 play days in a row. Hasib Warriors coming off an absolute shellacking from Elevate just yesterday, 7-0. One of these teams will finally put an end to their loss streak, but which will it be? If it is Hasib Warriors, then we are going to have a crazy little game of rock, paper, scissors between Daystar, Hasib Warriors, and Knock Knock, where everyone has beaten everyone else. Well, everyone has beaten one and lost to the other. A little love triangle, if you will. And the battle for 6th place, that final playoff spot, will be massively up for contention.
Well, I think this is pretty important proving grounds for Daystar to solidify themselves as not bottom 2. Now, I think coming into this, they were, I believe it was 7th place. Well, going into this matchup, which means that they are in contention for elimination. And hopefully by winning this game, they will not be in contention for elimination. That is the goal here.
Yes, very much. Well, technically they just have jumped over Knock Knock after Knock Knock lost their previous game, because now Knock Knock's round difference is slightly worse, but it's only by a matter of 2 rounds. And yeah, well, if Daystar lose this game, then their round difference will probably drop below, and they may well indeed actually be below Hasib Warriors. If Hasib win this game, currently the standings have Daystar on -18 round difference with 3 points, Knock Knock on -20 round difference with 3 points, and Hasib Warriors on -21 round difference with 0 points. So if Hasib win this game, 7-4, they will actually be tied on round difference with Daystar and jump ahead of them on the head-to-head tiebreaker as well. So if Hasib Warriors win this 7-4 or better, they actually get into playoffs right now. Like, obviously, not necessarily confirmed because of the results next week. If any of those teams win next week,
we had another play day for group stages.
We do. We do have one last play day, but yeah, it's actually kind of crazy. Like, Hasib do have a massive chance to actually stay alive. But yeah, it's looking like even if that happens, it's going to come down to round difference between these 3 bottom teams in the league to determine who goes home and who goes to playoffs.
All right. That's exciting for Hasib Warriors. They really need to win this one, and I think going to Bank should be interesting. We haven't really seen Daystar play Bank yet. Daystar played Chalet, and then they played Skyscraper. And they were all right on Chalet, and then they played Skyscraper, and they were really bad on Skyscraper. So I'm hoping that now that we've gone to Bank, which is like, again, a very different map to both their previous 2, that maybe they can show us some good signs.
Well, the last time Daystar played Bank, it was actually in the qualifier, in their qualifying match to this tournament. It was in the open quals, the closed quals, and they beat Varian X, a team that, if you were watching the Asia League last year, you'd be familiar with that team. Daystar actually won that 7-1 over Varian X. They, in fact, won 7-0 on Chile, 7-1 on Bank. So Daystar were miles ahead of Varian X in that matchup, and we haven't seen them play an official on Bank since then. Similar story for Hasib Warriors, actually, in the match that they qualified for this tournament, or the match that they took first seed coming into this tournament from South Asia. They beat Knock Knock. Both teams like this map. But for now, as we dig into the round, bit of a roam clear going on this top floor, and a bit of a roam extension from Hasib Warriors in open area.
This is good drone work so far from Daystar as well. They've cleared out the top floor for now, but the next point they will need to clear is Zedox, who's still inside of the ground floor. Now his exit route is pretty straightforward here, to drop through the hatch and go back down to the basement. He's just going to hang out for a little bit more, shoot out one more drone, and then fall off. From here on out, it's just Doctor, who's sitting inside of blue, so if they do want to go for a back take here, they will have to expend some utility to clear out his position, but of course he is the Warden. Very lethal operator here amongst the flashbangs, which they have plenty of, but they'll probably need to sink some explosives to go along with it.
Jack's on his Bravo drone. I'm wondering what he's actually looking to achieve with that. Obviously, the highest priority gadget to hack would be the bulletproof camera from Jaeger or the Yokai drones, but you could also try and hack those ADSs in blue and look to try and clear the stairs that way.
That would be quite hard, I think.
It would be quite hard.
That would be quite tricky.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you get value out of the Bravo at this point, just because it's going to be so difficult to get those drones into the site where it can hack anything. And this extension is still looking very solid from Doctor. He's got the SMG-12, he's still got 2 ADSs and his shield.
Well, it looks like
To be a
Daystar...
back take.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to go for a server take at all. They're going to go from a lobby side instead. And I think that's probably where they've been able to sneak in the Bravo drones. And I think both of Jack's Bravo drones have been taken down already. And instead, they're just going to look to entry into the bomb side instead. So the Bees are going to initiate the executes come through, but Hasib is going to get the first blood.
That's a good one. Oh, Hijack. Be really careful. The Vulcan canister is still blowing. Momorin's actually snuck all the way deep into sight, though. He does have a really solid position, but he's worried about the player behind him in server. Now, Jack does find a pick, and the Yokai does spot out the position of that Buck in the middle of sight. This is a very messy round, and the Diffuser is down on the ground inside of Vault. Hasib is holding down the fort. Neon needs to go hunting for it. Oh, he's actually on the hatch up above, and well, I don't know why Hijack is contesting that angle. A very solid, convincing round for Hasib wants peace, as Daystar really didn't have a solid way to launch that attack onto site.
Yes, they won a round. This is exciting for Hasib Warriors. Starting out in the basement in the defense, this is a mission-critical map for them to win, of course, to make sure that they are staying alive in the league in its entirety. If they lose this one out, they're essentially completely locked out of playoffs, as I understand the way that the math goes. I could be completely wrong, actually, but that's the way I understand it. Super C Warriors, one round at a time. Starting out in the defense, be process focused. They can do it, you know?
Very much.
Go slowly. One round at a time.
Yeah, if Hasib do lose this game, then there's no way they can ever jump over Daystar. In theory, they could jump over Knock Knock, but that would have to happen by Hasib Warriors beating Fury, which firstly isn't going to happen. They would need to get all 3 points out of that game, and they would need to have a good enough round difference as a result that they beat Knock Knock's round difference. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Hasib Warriors lose this game and they are out of contention for the Manchester Major, because they will also be out of contention for playoffs. Yeah, so obviously that is their priority at the moment, is giving as good a fight as they can to Daystar, and they've already started really strong, which is fantastic. They are on the defense, which is likely to be the favored side in a matchup like this, I believe. But already we're seeing Daystar continue their trend of doing something a little bit unorthodox. On the basement, they went for a front take, or well, depends, I guess, what you consider the front. But they went for like a lobby drop take and a vault drop instead of going for the more typical server. And they're doing something similar here. They're going for a lobby take.
I've actually had that call out, like, spell disaster for a team that I've played on before. The front take and back take thing. Because everyone got confused about what execute we were going for, because some people interpreted lobby as the front.
No.
It's, you know what? You gotta discern them. They're important, alright? Now I've given up. They're not front take or back take anymore. It's lobby or server, alas. Zedox is gonna get the first pick onto Momorin, who is on the rappel trying to look for any stray players in the top floor, but he in fact gets taken out on the other side instead. So far so good for Daystar. Hibana on the other side for Jack as well is going to open up some of this Kanto wall going in through the hallway to cut off some of these defenders in the top floor too, make that hallway unsafe. And slowly but surely, Daystar are picking apart this bomb site.
Yeah, being a player down is going to be difficult for them. They have managed to open up this Kanto wall, but half the round's done, and that's only a fairly modest amount of progress. Doctor also a great operator to contest this, being the Malusi with the ACOG, and his gadget as well is also there to support. He has a BPC, he can see, okay, there's the Monty. Is there anyone playing behind it? He's not entirely sure. Neon actually finds the opening kill there from playing behind that Montaigne. The smoke has assisted him. Interesting. Going for smokes instead of frags. An unusual decision on the thinker that reaps benefits for him. And Hijack now pushing up forward. Neon with him to support. And unfortunately, Hijack was not able to support enough. Neon somehow gets that kill in the end. But through the smoke, Doctor trades him on back. It's left all up to Jack, who is sitting here on the rappel doing not very much for his team. Now his position will be revealed as well as he shoots down this barricade. One versus whatever, it doesn't matter. The round's over. Another fairly convincing one. Hasib Warriors are looking pretty fired up and happy about that.
Yes, another one on the board. This is looking good. Dev, this is looking good for Hasib Warriors. Yeah, really solid defense there. They played the patience game early on in the round. Daystar tried to capitalize by being on the rappels early, trying to catch some of the rotations going on in the top floor early on in the round. That didn't work out for Hasib Warriors because they were playing so disciplined They didn't give away any picks to Daystar. Not only that, but Zedox was actually able to get a pick onto one of those repelling players early on, and from there on out, it really snowballed with the time ticking away for Daystar. They sort of went with this brute force take up the spiral stairs, but the crossfire was there for Hasib Warriors. Really well played, great discipline, waiting for the time to tick down.
Throughout stage 1, Daystar have only played Chalet and Skyscraper. Concerning, yes, perhaps, production. Perhaps a slight concern. My main concern was the fact that Daystar kept picking Chalet after losing it so many times. I would much rather encourage them to play more maps rather than keep banging their head against the wall on Sky and Chalet.
I concur. I think if you're a new team and you're trying to like look competitive in your league and trying to learn a lot of new things, you don't really want to be like, I don't know, I don't think you really want to be tunnel visioning yourself into doing one thing over and over again. You want to be learning new stuff. That's funny. It's funny when production can talk to us.
That's,
that's
hilarious. You're hilarious, Adam. Nice one, Adam. Ha ha.
Oh god.
So funny. This guy thinks he's funny. It's not funny.
He's
I'm
not funny.
funny. Tell
You're
me
funny?
I'm funny, Maddie.
You are, you are.
Thank you. I need external validation.
Oh god. This is getting to be a really low point of the broadcast, hey? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. The Delulu thoughts are starting to settle in. It's not good.
The Delulu's back.
The Delulu is back. Okay, Daystar are looking to do a room clear of the top floor. And it doesn't look like there are that many players here on the top floor. It's just Hasib who is holding on to main stairs, but that's a pretty easy fall off for him to be able to claim. So here's Neon, who's figured out that the top floor is now clear and he is safe to enter. But now there are players in the ground floor. That's what they've got to focus on next. Bit of drone works going out from KZB on the Bravo as well. See what's going on. Ooh, this could be a good cutoff on the rotation, but he doesn't quite land enough shots onto Doctor. He can get his way into tellers.
Just looking for an angle, looking to cut off any pressure. I really like the way that this RAM has been used as well to completely lock down archives. With the player on the top square looking through those windows and doors, and with the vert above, like there's no way you can play that on. Here's something cheeky from Doctor. He wanted to go and make a play on that info top square, but he didn't realize he was actually exposed. Oh, Hijack, if you went for the swing here, he'd get a free kill, but he doesn't go for it. Because he hears the logic bomb. The player's phone ringing just around the corner from him. Worried about a swing. Just made his way to elevator. Another cross from Zedox that Hijack misses. That's very unfortunate timing there from him.
How did he escape though? Zedox just throws through the rotation hole because it's not actually a crouch hole, and somehow the cutoff does actually come out from Hijack. Zedox is a lucky man.
Yeah,
oh my.
Wow. There you go. Wow, would you look at that?
There are players. Are we able to see the game on any of the players' cameras? I don't think so. I don't think we can see it on any of the Hasib.
Do you reckon we can cast based on
We've
like,
done that
lip
before.
reading?
Lip reading.
I mean, we've casted based on like looking at a player's monitor, but have we casted by lip reading and observing the body language of a team, trying to identify what's going on in the round?
We can try. Okay. So when...
Oh, round over?
Oh, yes, the round's over. Yes, they won!
Hasib Warriors won the round!
Yes!
Sheesh!
Damn, Tom!
There was actually such...
Yes!
There was such a like obvious moment from looking at Daystar when they just like all of them simultaneously like sighed and like, you know, their body language changed. That's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my god.
And I kind of wish we could see all the players' cams like all the time while we're watching.
Oh my god. So, as I understand it, Hasib's camera has crashed, but we can actually see the game. We can see the game from his camera. Okay. That's interesting.
I can see that it is Bank. He is looking at the map, and there is something going on in the text chat. That's all I can see.
Yeah. I mean, he's frozen again. That's probably why. But like, yes, that was actually such a clear distinction, Dip. I'll tell you what. Daystar all did like the, nice try. And then everyone on Hasib Warriors was like, yeah, we did it. Yes.
That's interesting, yeah.
This is so exciting.
I do quite like that.
maybe we just shouldn't watch the next round at all. And we should just be on these player cameras and then be commentating on their emotional response to the game. That would actually be quite creepy. I feel like that'd be very unsettling for the players if they went back and
Kind of
watched
like
this
what's that thing where like you watch people watching shows? Like there's a show
like
about
reactions,
watching
you know?
people. Gogglebox, that's it. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, so like Gogglebox, but for esports, right? Like you just watch the people. Like it's not like a reaction video or like a co-stream.
Oh,
it's
it's
more
not?
like
Okay.
like imagine you just watch the people playing with like the game without actually seeing the game. Like I
Okay.
honestly, this kind of sounds like Twitch.tv, and I don't think anyone's ever thought of this idea. I'm going to turn it into a business, and I'm going to make
Okay.
$1 million by making a
Okay.
platform where people can watch other people play video games. Can you imagine that? Just imagine that for a second. I think I'm actually going to be a billionaire. Like
Wow.
Mark Zuckerberg, step aside. Dev Marta's coming on through.
Oh, we're in! We were right, Dev! Hasib Warriors has got another round. That's so exciting.
That's very exciting. And also, can I
That's
just say to all of you at home who are like, oh my god, why are these guys still waffling? We could have thrown to a break right now. I just want you to know how much we care about you guys at home and spending more time with you guys. We could have thrown to a break and you guys would be looking at a countdown.
This is really you going
instead-
in the Twitch streamer arc, hey?
We decided to have a bit of a waffle, have a bit of a yarn, spin a bit of a yarn. What else can you say? Have
And
a
they're
bit of a
taking
yap.
their tactical timeout after all of that as well. Oh, I guess they can't talk in the
Jeez.
text, hey? That's a
That's
good
very
point.
true, yeah.
That is
That's
true.
good
They're not
technical
supposed to
timeout,
talk
not
in the
allowed to-
tech.
Very not tactical, those technicals.
Now
Wow,
they are
not a lot of-
listening.
Not a lot of talking going on.
ED
the
must
old
be saying
Daystar.
things.
ED actually said, I believe to one of our admins in a previous playday, like that this team, he's noticed with this team, he needs to take tactical pauses really early on in the game to get them on track because they don't often start strong. And we noticed that, I believe it was last match that they played, which was, if I'm not wrong, the Fury game. Yeah, it was indeed the Fury game. We saw them take it on round 3. But yeah, I mean, at what point, Manny, do we actually get excited and think realistically Hasib Warriors can win this game? Because
I'm
we all
already
expect-
excited.
Oh wow, she's
They can
already
do it.
excited, guys.
They
Dial
can do
in.
it. Yes. They've won
Sheesh,
3
I mean-
defenses on bank, and they've all been very convincing. Okay, to be fair, we didn't see a lot of that last round, but like that for those first 2 rounds, like damn, they won. You know, like straight up, they actually won, and that looks like very good. I think they can do it.
Sheesh.
I'm a believer.
I'm a believer.
Are you a believer?
I, get this, predicted Hasib Warriors in my predictions. No cap. And I know you're beating me in predictions in Asia League, which is quite
Yes.
upsetting because I'm actually having a really good run of it in OS League. And so I wanted to like do that whole, like, you know, you don't care about predictions until you're winning and then you actually care. That's kind of what's happened with me.
Yes.
Except I'm only winning in OS, so I need to make a comeback here in Asia, and Hasib Warriors would certainly help me out with that. So
My
I'm all on the train.
predictions were 94% correct going
Okay,
into this
that's.
play day.
I'm probably not going to catch up with that. to be
So I've done
frank with
good,
you.
yo. I've done very
You've
good.
You've done extremely goodly. But for me, the main reason, you know, ego and predictions aside, the main reason I want to see Hasib Warriors do well here is because, like I said, like it's actually such a cooked 3-way tie if we get Hasib Warriors winning this game. Because we'll have Hasib, Daystar, and Knock Knock all tied on 3 points, all having beaten each other, and all within like 1 or 2 rounds difference of their round difference apart. And it means that like their final matches against, they're all playing tough teams in their final play day. But it'll actually matter like how smashed they get. Like if they all lose, that yeah, it's not about getting no points. It's about like getting a 7-4 or a 7-3 instead of a 7-1 or a 7-0.
All right, come on, Hasib Warriors. Win this one out for us that we can have an exciting 3-way tie. Okay, they've actually made very quick work of this map here, Dev, have Daystar. They've realized that the entirety of the map has been vacated to them, and they've gotten through the top floor and the ground floor super fast, and they've got hatches open as well. So Mayrin has used both of those tin can openers to get the 2 open inside and inside of admin office as well. So quick work for Daystar, and now they can start to drain out the basement instead. They have identified that there is quite a fair bit of denial utility in the form of the Goyo and the smoke and the echo as well. So they've got a bit of ways to work through if they want to go and take their time to go try and bait out some of this utility, get the bomb down early. that's good work as well, getting some of those glue canisters popped before going for the plant too. Daystar going through the motions of getting this one done.
Lot of util to clear though. Time is ticking away. Vulcan canisters, 3 smoke babes, C4 from Zedox, 2 yokai drones, 10 consoles, so much util from Hasib Warriors to go for plant dial in the late round at Daystar. They can't just play a normal kind of plant and wait out time because there's just simply not enough time. They need to go explosive. They need to use the Candelas from the Ying. They need to make this count because they will only have one opportunity. Out goes the smoke from Hasib. They will gas out this plant for the rest of the round. Good flash. Din is in a great position as well. C4 goes over and does not take down the planter. Somehow, Hijack has managed to get the diffuser down. Can he escape with his life? He's choking on damage as he backs out, but he does get away safely.
Go up.
Numbers advantage for Hasib in the defense. The Bees keep Taha at bay. He has been locked onto, but 2 players coming up the rear stairs, and Hasib gets his pick. He's gone for a jog. He's gone all the way upstairs. Is there good cover? That's the question now. At what point can Daystar hold on to this? At what point can Hasib go for the counter defuse? Doctor's fallen. Why is nobody defusing? Hijack, he's done everything that they needed. Finally traded on back by Taha. Jack and Neon, there is no time left. And what could have been a very achievable retake from Hasib Warriors slips away.
Oh my god, that was such a chaotic round. That was crazy between those 2 teams. Daystar actually went for an excellent choice of plant there. They realized that the default plant had been smoked out. There was a C4 that was about to be sunk. And not only that, but that because they'd popped the goo canister right in the middle of bomb sites so early on in the round, that allowed them to plant behind the bomb. And that was the one safe spot that they were able to get it down. But the craziest part about that round was the almost super successful retake from Hasib. Like, man, they actually did it. They went up the main stairs. They won this gunfight. They got into the top floor. Like, yes, Dinny dies to the player on main stairs, but at some point, there was like 2 or 3 players inside of the actual bomb site where the diffuser was. They were all looking and staring up hatches, but no one was getting on the defuse because they were waiting for the picks to come through. What could have been for Hasib Warriors? What could have been? But alas, Daystar win 1. Pretty convincing one as well in the end, though, to be honest. 2 versus 1.
Yeah.
Taha down.
I mean,
all on his own. Yeah, they did it.
I don't understand, like, at the end there, Mandy, right? Like, there were only 3 seconds on the clock the first time that Hasib actually tried to go for a defuse, right?
Yep.
Well, firstly, there's no point trying to defuse at 3 seconds. You've lost the round already as soon as there's less than 7 seconds to go.
5 seconds remaining.
Obviously, I don't see the number, but, like, you know. If you've played this game enough, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And I just don't get why, like, in that 4v3 or whatever, like, even if it's a risk, you have to just get someone on that defuse, right? And then that forces the peak, and then you have the people covering try and win those fights. And win or lose, like, you probably get that kill eventually, and then you can try again. I don't know. Very difficult round for Hasib Warriors to make that retake work. But anyway, I digress. Oh,
I think it was too chaotic. Oh my god, how is he here?
How is he in? Yeah. This is like 25, 30 seconds into the round, and he's already, like, not just, like, slightly in the building, he's deep. Yeah, me too. I'm like,
I
how
thought he was a defender.
You know what's
That's so
ironic is
funny.
we actually saw on the player cams before this game started, KZB was literally taking a nap in his chair. And he is not napping at all. He's sped run all the way into the building and is just holding a passive rotation.
Oh my gosh, the
Very
Xenox is
early.
out. Oh no.
And he's dead as well. Oh well, grim down,
my
grim down.
goodness. Wow. I mean, that's the second time that Zedox
Attackers have
has
located a bomb.
managed to kill Hijack on the same rappel. But this time around, there was a C4 to at least get the trade on. But I mean, Hijack's probably going to feel a bit robbed of that kill. Alas, nevertheless, KZB from down below has been spotted out. The jig is up. Oh, there's a player chasing him. Someone else has dropped the hatches going after him. But he knows. How does he know that? Anyway, he turns around and kills Hasib, who's followed him down the hatch, perhaps ill-advised. And now Daystar have the man advantage. These rounds are crazy, Div. I'll tell you what. What is going on? There's
If you
someone
find out,
watching
let
the
me know.
second hatch drop. How do they know?
I don't know. Taha is tempted to go for some kind of peek here. His team is at a disadvantage, and that's typically when you feel the need to make some kind of play. He's worried about that vertical angle right underneath his mirror window as well. He can't really sit there safely. Daystar is stalling out at the moment. Just need to be careful of any counter-aggression as well. Form up some kind of a push. Oh, here's a nice little bit of Ash charge. That's going to counter that mirror window. Momo Rin does get the eyes on Taha. He needs to not lose this fight, though. Taha on the other side. Oh, very low and prone, but Din is able to cover him. 3v3, very winnable for Hasib. Jackson, an awkward spot. Taha has now rotated to the other mirror window. A smoke goes out. Interesting choice. Neon not able to achieve much. Daystar have completely stalled. They don't know how to actually get in. They haven't even cleared half these castle barricades. The mirror is still at large. 20 seconds to play. The only choice is just to go big or go home.
Gotta do it big.
Hasib Warriors. Oh, what a good angle from Din. 3v2. And this looks like it's over. What is Daystar doing? Din's found 3. And it's an easy lockout from a 3v4 to a 3v0. Hasib, well, they are just destroying Daystar.
They're doing it. They're absolutely doing it on the defense. That was a pretty crazy early round down in the ground floor. But nevertheless, they hold on in the late round. They realized, oh no, Janitor is under quite a lot of pressure now, and they managed to rotate off that safely. And then from there on out, Daystar looked a bit lost on how to deal with the rest of the setup from there on out. Hasib were pretty comfortable in towards the middle of the bomb site. Realized that there was only really one way that Daystar could entry in through, and that was from the breach. And they had a really long line of sight onto it. That's it. Hasib hold on, and they win another round. 4 rounds of defense. This is very exciting.
Yeah. Very turbulent, this game. I think that's an appropriate word. Like, this has been all over the shop. Daystar had some good attacks. They've had some pretty poor attacks as well, where they just couldn't really figure out how to get in there. But, yeah. Hasib Warriors are firing up massively, and we talked a little bit about this in the previous game, and all the previous games tonight. I think particularly that Bleed versus Elevate match. Like, you can tell a team that's winning and then the vibe starts to get up. Like, that has such a big impact, and you can see it in the cameras. We've seen that in Hasib's cameras for sure so far.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys look like they are in it. They are happy. They're winning rounds, and that's really good. Whereas for Daystar, yes, they look like they are in struggle street at the moment, but nevertheless, they are still in this game. They're still playing.
They've taken their tacket already as well. That's the other concern for Daystar. Like, if this is a 5-1 with no tactical timeout on their second half, it's going to be really hard to get the full 3 points.
Entry from Neon all the way in through the top of Square. Top floor, of course, having been fully cleared out. Now, this is an interesting pick from KZB. He's jumped onto the Nook. Try and go sneaky beaky into the building, and he's being droned out by one of his teammates as well. Jack has got info all the way into the elevator hallway, and will call out to his teammates that lobby is safe, you can enter on in. And they're on the main stairs, go and kill them. Here's Hasib holding on to the shotgun as well, preventing that push from coming on through, and it's forced just all of the players of Hasib Warriors to go back down into the bomb site.
The X factor here is KZB. He was looking to make a play garage. It's the main reason you'd play Knock, but he's actually rotated back up again. I forgot, but the FMG9 on Knock actually now has the ACOG available, which is a very mean sight. I really wonder what he'd be able to achieve with that. It would be really gnarly. I don't think Knock's ever had an ACOG before. So yeah, I'd love to see if he's able to out-duel the Echo. It would be very hard to do, but if he can, then that would completely open up the garage aspect of the map, and it would also counter both of those yokais available for the plant denial in that late round.
So once again, it seems like Daystar aren't super keen on clearing out Doctor's position in top low, so they're going to go for a lobby-sided take instead. Momo Rin is going to be the X factor here for the executes come through with all those Yin Candelas to try and enable his teammates to go and make that hatch drop work for them. Now, you pointed it out pretty well already, Dev, but KZB is instead going to rotate himself back down into the garage to try and claim this space out. Dinny being fully flashed out, it's time to go for KZB.
This is a really good play. They're working together very well. KZB goes in. Does he have the info on where this Echo is? Oh, he spots the Echo's head for a second, but I don't think he noticed it. Meanwhile, his teammates are falling. He has to take advantage of the opportunity, but Din has found a pick, and now KZB is left all alone. This is no longer a backstab. It's a tiny pin that really has very little impact. Hasib Warriors can train all of their guns the same direction. Doctor with the SMG-12 lands a long shot. 5-1 on the defensive half. for the team still winless in this league, about to secure potentially their first point, maybe even their first win in the Asia League.
I am a believer. They can do it. 5 rounds of the defense. Damn, that's really good on Bank. Bank is one of those maps that historically has been pretty 50-50 statistically. I don't know how much you'd agree with that, Dev, but I feel like in 2023 it was pretty like evenly split. And so going 5 rounds
One of the most
of the
attacker-sided
defense.
maps on 2023 for sure.
Yeah, there you go. Hasib Warriors going 5 rounds of the defense. That's a pretty significant margin to put yourself now switching up onto the attack as well. Now, Dev, you never know. This could be one of these games where neither team knows how to attack. And I can very well see it going that way, and that would really suck for Hasib Warriors. But this is a great position that they found themselves in, and I'm excited for them.
Very much, and they also still have their tactical timeout available, whereas Daystar do not. I also think, just immediately looking at the operator lineup, like we've got really good ingredients. Both the Dokkaebi and the Brava are phenomenal counters to both the Echo and the Maestro. So the Dokkaebi obviously is going to prevent those gadgets from being used while the call's ongoing, but the Brava might actually be able to hack some of those gadgets, and I would love to see that impacted. So we're just going to throw our observer under the bus, Sky, and maybe even Cthulhu, if we can have a look at where those gadgets are being placed, and maybe even later in the round, if Doctor's going to use his Brava drone to hack them, I would love to see some of that action if you can catch it. Where are the bubbles? Oh, here's a bubble.
Bubble 1. Oh no, he's got 3 of them now. This is bubble 2.
This is bubble 2. I don't know where the other one
Bubble
is. Probably
2.
Garage would be my guess.
Bubble, bubble, bubble. Yep, the Delulu is settling in. Okay. Hasib Warriors
Feeling
are
very
on the
bubbly
attack.
tonight, Mandy. What's going on?
Sorry?
You're very bubbly tonight.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, they're clearing out the top floor. This is good news. Vertical pressure onto the player inside of blue. Now, whether Hijack knows it or not, he should definitely not peek this door, because if he peeks it, Zedox will kill him, and that would be quite bad. Alas, I think he does know, so he's going to play the cautious game instead. And so far, so good for Hasib Warriors. They've taken the 1/3 of the map. That's good. Now they've got the rest of it to go.
Momo's just put out his last bubble as well. There we go. Nice one,
Bubble
Cthulhu.
number
Okay, so
3.
2 in CCTV, and I didn't see where the last one went, but I am assuming Garage. When we see Doctor on his Brava drones, he's already thrown one out. We'll have a look later and see where he managed to make those ones work. But yeah, I'd love to see if he managed to hack those. And here's the Yokai, actually scouting quite aggressively outside as well. Well, Doctor's already lost one Brava drone. One's been shot out.
Yeah, one's been shot out early on. So I'm thinking that neither of these teams really want to go for a server attack for
Oh
whatever
no, he's
reason.
about to lose it.
Oh dear.
Oh, bro.
Oh dear. Not good.
You went
Alas.
for the default camera. And he
Hey, you
jumped as
know-
well just to let everyone know that he had his drone there. That
You
is very
know,
unfortunate.
info
Yeah, now
is
is when you
info.
want the Brava drone. You could probably hack these from the hatch.
Oh no, we've switched it around. So it looks like they were going to go for a lobby-sided take, and then they decided, no, we're going to go for a server instead. Now, they've done this
there
pretty
it
late.
is.
There's like 40
There's all
seconds
three.
left. There's like 40 seconds left in the round. They really can't do this. All the Goyo canisters are still up. Hijack has still got 2 smokes in the pocket, and Neon as well is on his Yokai drones. This is like very tough situation for Hasib Warriors. Daystar should win this one.
The only way that Hasib's Warriors win this round is by going nuts, and they haven't done that at all. In fact, Jack has just found a very gnarly 2K. Zdux is in the building, but he's the only one left standing for his roster. Exit frag number 1. Do we have a number 2? Can I hear a number 2? No, Jack finds his 3rd on the round. A very convincing one from Daystar. And unfortunately, Hasib Warriors not able to dismantle that setup and form up and execute.
I'll tell you what, I reckon I accidentally spoke the prophecy. I don't think either team is going to be able to attack Bank. That last round was a bit rough, hey? It looked like Hasib Warriors were really shaping up for a lobby-sided take, and then by the time that they actually went to go and flip their take into server, that was way too late, man. You go there, there's like 2 Goyo canisters in your way, you're trying to fight smokes, you're trying to bait out Yokai drones, there are just too many pieces of the puzzle for them to have gone and tried to battle out there, even if they decided to go deep. There was so little time, and they all just kind of fell like flies by the time they hit the bomb site. I have a feeling that we're going to see rather defender-side Bank today, Dev. That means a lot more rounds of Rainbow Six.
Yeah, I mean, Daystar could still get the full 3 points out of this game. Keep that in mind. They could reverse sweep 6 defenses in a row and call it a day. Jumping up, and that would all but deny Hasib Warriors any opportunity to make it to playoffs, let alone the major. Is Hasib will stay on 0 points. They would then have to get 3 points off of Fury, even have a chance at tying Knock Knock for points. And I'm just going to say it right now, Hasib Warriors are not getting all 3 points off of Fury. They're probably not even going to get a single point off of Fury. They'll be lucky to get more than 2 rounds off of Fury, in my opinion. So this is going to be really tough if Hasib's Warriors can't convert the 5-1 advantage they established for themselves so early on. They really need to gun for this now.
Quite a different bomb site, though, that we're seeing Daystar go to on their defense. They've taken us over to Staff Room and open area instead now. We don't see this one. I don't think we've seen this one get played out at all. This game? Oh, no, we did. Right?
We did. We saw one defense from Hasib Warriors on this,
Okay,
and they did win it.
I was incorrect. Nevertheless.
Oh, sorry, it was the one that we didn't see.
Does
that make sense?
Yes, it was the one that we didn't see. So technically,
it was the round where our spectator
seen,
disconnected.
Yes, we haven't seen a defense on this in our eyes, even though it has actually been played out, but it doesn't matter. We haven't seen it. It didn't happen. There's no evidence. So Xenos.
I wrote it down on my notes, Manny. There's evidence.
Pixar, it didn't happen. Okay, so Xenox is going to go on the entry. In through stock, there is a player on the other side as well. Now, stock's actually quite a dangerous spot to retreat in from, so I'd be a little cautious here for Xenox. Oh, this just looks away at the wrong time. There's a player on the double window. I think he's waiting for him to hop in. And that player's looked away as well. How is that going to happen?
Timing again!
Why is he running away now? Jack has just not gotten away with his life at all. Has found the most horrible timing to go full off from that position. And he's going to claim it with a grenade. That's fair enough. There's a player inside a janitor, and he's going to get aggressive and peek these vertical holes instead of just being made. Holy moly, that guy's brave. Nevertheless, Hasib, they've done good here. They've made the entry work, and they have the top floor now.
Din, spec in. Come on, spec Dinny. Spec Dinny, Sky. Spec Dinny. Yes! We're going to see it, Mandy. This is how you use the Bravo. Ready?
Oh my god.
1, 2, bam! He's got it.
Wow.
Homie's got it. Here's another one.
There's another
one.
one.
Can he get it?
Yes.
Oh, can he get it? Yes! He got it again! Look at the mad one! He got 2 bubbles!
Massive
He got
value.
2 of the bubbles!
Huge plays. Absolutely huge plays. This is big for the club, Dev, for Hasib Warriors. They're going in. Xenox is in.
Hang on a second. Xenox is in. Xenox is dead. And the advantage, the 2-player advantage that Hasib Warriors established for themselves has completely crumbled. Never mind. Oh, a shot there with the Deimos. That's cute. Let's see if Din can do as good with his gun as he did with that Brava drone.
Okay, 16 seconds left. It's not looking so good. They've got their guns trained on the hatch, Dev. It's looking very bad. Very, very bad. Oh dear. Daystar won another defense.
Just look at their faces. That was a 3v5. Unfortunately, did not fall in Hasib Warriors' favor. That was really quite a strong round. There was a very strong argument for Hasib Warriors getting match point that round and their first point on the standings this stage. Fortunately, couldn't quite convert that numbers advantage, succeeding a lot of 1v1. So, like, this was the first pick that Daystar gifted up. But yeah, like, we'll probably see in the replay, there was a point where it was 5v3. Okay, this was just after that. And then just like, everyone's so separate. Like, why is Dr. Solo pushing in? Obviously, this 2v2 is never going to be ideal. Daystar never really tried to push from like multiple angles. They just kind of looked for picks and then eventually overextended and died, and then desperately dropped the hatch.
So, Deb, the question I pose to you now, how many attacks do they need to win the game? Like,
2.
It's
they're on
Daystar.
5 points, so they win 2 rounds, and then they win the game. That's how it works, Mandy.
Yes, but Daystar having won 1 attack on their attacking
Is
path.
that enough?
Is that enough now? You know? Because now they have 6 rounds of defense. They've just won 2. they've got 3 more, right? Wait, is that no? Fuck, they got 4 more. That's wrong.
Yeah, Daystar need 4 more defenses to win this game. Yep, that is 3 + 4 = 7.
Yes. So can they do it from here? Is the 1 attack enough?
Daystar can do it. I think that for Hasib, like, there's a bit of RNG involved because of, like, I think their play style involves taking a lot of 1v1s, even in advantage positions. So there's 2 ways I can see it play out. Like, either because like they got 2 early 1v1s in that round that came in their favor, right? But then they didn't convert the man advantage. So either they tighten up their conversion of man advantages and they get a man advantage, and then that equals a round win and therefore match point, or they just have enough luck that they end up winning through their 1v1s without necessarily tightening up their gameplay. And they have 4 opportunities to do that. So I do think statistically Hasib probably do still have a pretty solid chance of winning this game.
Damn, you actually have the voice of reason there. I was trying. Oh,
see what I mean? As a 1v1. Imagine peeking that as KZB, by the way. Like, who peeks that? You're just getting sprayed down on a really narrow angle. You're like, yeah, I might peek that.
how is that gonna happen? Oh, the wall is open. The wall is open into the bomb site, and there's no one there. Oh,
okay,
how
what's
has
Neon
this
doing?
happened? Okay,
What's
so I think
Blood
he's run
doing?
out from the top floor, and he's killed
Yeah.
someone. Now he's back. But the
Are
problem
they cutting
is,
him off, or?
the problem is they're about to hit the bomb site, and I think they know actually. Maybe it's not a problem. They have the Solus
Okay.
up above. That's pretty good for Momo. He's got the
Oh.
Solus gadget active as well, and he has impacts. So even if they try to go for the plant here, it'd be bad.
The attacker's bomb diffuser
They
has
shouldn't
been
do
dropped.
this. They need to clear out. But I
Oh,
don't think
here
they
we
know
go.
that.
Plant was tempted for a second and Din goes down. That's the diffuser planter. Our defense has the numbers advantage again. The only way to win this for the attack is to actually go deep because of the presence above, because of the Solus above. You can't realistically make this work. But hang on, there's a backstab. I believe that's from... Oh no, it was Hasib. It was not a backstab. They were all coming from the same direction still. Zedux is on flank watch looking for players flanking over through lobby, but what he doesn't realize is they actually don't need to do that. The Solus... Oh, he's not able to get the angle needed!
Oh no!
Taha's
Oh, no.
taken so low, but the shield managed to give him just enough cover to confirm that. Zedux does find one, but not before Jack was able to find a kill on that drop. Now Neon almost got that trade. 2v2 as Hijack is still down on the ground, but Hasib is there. All up to Momo in a 1v2 to stave off match point. Hasib Warriors, all they needed to do was
They've done
get
it.
one attack. They've got their first points in the Asia League in 2024.
I'm so proud of them. I'm genuinely so proud of them. They've done it. They've got their 1 point. Yes! And they won it on an attack as well. They're doing it. They're taking this actual timeout? Why? Anyway, it's fine, I guess, yeah. They only need one more round from here. That's okay. That's okay. They've done really well there. That was actually a solid attack. They did it, you know. They went for a lobby-sided take. It was linear. They held on to the retake when it came through. Somehow the Solus from above doesn't quite find the right vertical angle to go and kill the planter, which is probably, you know, the one win condition there for the defense. Like, that plant probably shouldn't have gone down in that situation. But nevertheless, it did somehow. And that's what mattered, because the Hasib held on to the retake, and he did good.
To be fair, the one way that they realistically could plant there, like I said, the win condition was going deep. The one way they can plant there is by using the Monty shield. Now, it's still possible for Solus to kill Monty from above, or even just like say, oh, he's planting in this corner, and then you can actually wallbang him from inside of archives. Like, there are a lot of different options there. But yeah, the timing was just off for Hasib Warriors.
Attackers need to locate and defend.
Solid stuff. Very solid stuff there for Hasib Warriors. But now, Dev, they have to win an attack on the basement. Winning an attack on the basement seems to be an impossible task in this game, because by the time they actually hit the bomb site, there is too much that they need to deal with, and they haven't been able to win. I don't think we've seen a single one happen yet. So, for Hasib Warriors, they need to do pretty good here if they want to close out the game in this round.
Very much so. I would love to see a Bravo pick again. I really want to see it, because I think like it was such a powerful operator going against a Yokai and the Evil Eyes, but yeah, he didn't quite use it to its fullest extent last time, and so they're actually not going to go for it this time. They're going to go for the Flores drones to clear the Evil Eyes, which is a curious choice. I think it can work. yeah, I don't know. I guess you've got 4 of the Roteros and 2 grenades, which could clear out most of the util brought to the table.
You could be onto something there, to be honest. Okay, so I kind of agree with you on this. You might be cooking here, Dev. Brava has not worked out for anybody. No one knows how to play Brava. So, playing Flores, you would think, is the more straightforward way to solve the problem, right? Like, you can't mess it up. You go in there, you hit the button, and it explodes. There's no, like, finesse to, like, you got the drone in there, and the drone needs to be safe so the hack can happen in Udita, right? So surely, this is the Salulu.
Could it be? Could it be? But first, a roam clear must take place. And KZB is here on the ground floor, loitering, lingering, biding his... Oh, he's been droned. So what does he do about it? Second drone from Hasib. He's actually going to fall back fairly early. Probably the right decision to make.
I think so as well. So from here on out, what do Hasib Warriors do? Are they going to go and dedicate themselves to a server push? Which they should probably make that decision quickly if they want to do so because of how much utility they need to clear if they want to make that work. Or do they then go and do a lobby-sided take, which I think at this point, the important thing here is that they dedicate themselves to doing something here. Because whatever they decide to do, it's going to take a little while to achieve, especially when you've got Flores on the board. Now I can see Denny active now on those Flores drones, trying to clear things out in the bomb site, which is a good sign to me. It means that things are being exploded. In the background, I can hear the Goyo canisters going down nice and early, the walls being opened up. There is a planned opportunity here, Dev, or at least an opportunity to bait out the rest of this utility for Hasib Warriors.
Yeah, this has actually been a really solid mid-round from Hasib. They know that there's a big checklist and they're working through it. The problem is I think this checklist is too long. Like you've said, like there's just, that's 20 seconds, so that Goyo is going to be active. The win condition here, in the end, has got to be going deep. Like, you can threaten a plant, but you need to go deep at the same time because there are 2 gas babes still going down. Where are the more gas babes? They need more gas. The second one is far too shallow. The plant's going to go down. Xenox has gone deep. He's found one, but the trade might not matter. Daystar, 4v4 on the retake, and against a Monty to boots. Still a gas in pocket, and yet the plant was able to go down in the default position. A Yokai is going to enable a double retake here from Daystar. It seems to be the only win condition for them to retake above. And so what will Jack be able to do? There's no one seemingly in open area at the moment, as Neon has found his pick onto Din. Defense has regained the numbers advantage. Doctor's in a solid spot. Hasib as well, and Doctor holding on. A player's gone down below. And they might be able to try and stick this. Taha, though, he holds on. Doctor to clutch up. This is exactly what the Doctor ordered. Daystar should have had an apple a day because it would have kept him away. But Hasib wants peace, and the boys have done it. They've got their first win in the Asia League in 2024. They're on the board, and they're in contention for playoffs.
They've done it! They've made the 3-way tie exciting for us going into the last play day. Hasib Warriors have got a win, and not just any win, a win in regulation as well. All 3 points. They've done it. They looked great on bank.
That game was absolutely nuts, and I have no more words to describe what we have just witnessed. So I'll leave it to the desk.
I'm trying to find the words to describe what we've just witnessed as well. Well done, Hasib, guys. We now have no teams that haven't won a game. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, those were some nice looking nuts from James, but for this game in particular, the 3 points there is, it's huge. And it actually quite genuinely shakes us up for a very exciting final play day to see who's going to make it into the top 6 and who isn't. Daystar losing today dents their chances quite massively. Again, they have bleed in the next play day, so I don't feel very confident for them, especially after losing this match.
Oh, God, I'm just a child, Michael. Why would you do that?
Oh, is it because I said James had nice nuts? It wasn't that funny.
I am... Unfortunately, as you well know, Michael, working with me for, what, nearly 6 years now? Once it starts, it doesn't stop. But, Jake, what's your takeaway from this matchup?
I don't even know, Rob. I don't even know. I mean, I did kind of try and play a little devil's advocate to Hasib Warriors when we were going over this game. I said it was flip-flop territory. Like, it for me was kind of difficult to choose between Hasib Warriors and maybe what their best could look like, and Daystar and what their best. I definitely feel like we didn't get Daystar's best in this match. I don't know, maybe it was the map itself in Bank, which again we haven't really seen a whole lot of in this particular stage of the Asia League. So credit to Hasib Warriors though, tournament on the line, had to win. You lost this game and you were pretty much done, or at least close to it. So this ends up being big for them. They have to play Fury on the last play day, so that's still going to be, a lot of work that needs to be done in seeing them get into the top 6. Essentially would be hoping that round differential alone will be the biggest difference maker. But yeah, I'm not sitting here surprised that Hasib won.
I guess I am, but that's probably more to my my bias of Daystar than it is speaking volumes about Hasib. Look, I think at the end of the day, it gives us an interesting end to what will be a 6th place. I can only use the word dogfight because that's what it's going to be. This final play day is going to be absolutely brutal for the bottom 3 teams trying to find these points. And it also makes things a little bit more interesting. It keeps us on the edge of our seat. No one is perma eliminated, guys, which is probably a better thing, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. Again, it's really, really close. Depending on how it shapes up, round differential is going to be so important, and that is incredibly tight as well. I know we'll look at the standings at the end of the day, so I won't dive too deep into it, but seriously, this final play day is going to be incredibly close for who's going to finish in the top 6, who gets knocked out, alongside all the other permutations for seeding, etc. So Asia continues to be very, very competitive, and despite there being a stark contrast between the top 5 and the bottom 3, there's still exciting storylines on both sides of the spectrum.
We do love good storylines, and it looks like we've got a little bit of time as we continue to test this interview before we welcome in the coach, I believe, of Hasib Warriors. So that'll be interesting to get some insight as to maybe more so what to expect in the future. I honestly, I just hadn't done my research well and truly enough. I was unaware that they had a coach, so this will be a very interesting, I guess a snatch and grab full of info.
Used to be part of Mercenaries.
Oh, there you go. See, Jake does his research. Jake just
quick little Wikipedia, mate. That's
It was all in the brain. It was all in the
You
brain.
got me.
I waffled.
You got me.
We got him.
Take me away. Take me away. Oh, God. Yeah, look, I think...
Walter.
You can't go referencing Nuts and Walter on the same night, because you just can't do that. Things are going to shape up a little bit. Again, I've been saying over the last 2-3 play days, it has been a very decisive league in terms of where the bottom 3 teams are, where the top 5 teams are, and the fact that really that entry for entering into that top 5, the gap is so big that it's going to be incredibly hard to see. It doesn't really matter what team does make it through to the playoffs at this rate. It's going to be very hard to see them push through and find wins in a best of 3. We're just talking about maps there, let alone a full best of 3. But again, it's all experience that all 3 of these teams could use. You're talking about Daystar coming into this, not really having any T1 experience, nowhere near this level before. In stark contrast, Knock Hasib, we've seen them bopping around this league, this region for a very long time. So going into it, they're probably the teams that I would rather see, just so there's a little bit more of a fight. But hopefully at the end of the day, we get something good out of this. And something good we're going to get out of this game is an interview with the coach of Hasib Warriors. Let's welcome him in for the first time on the Asia League. Hello and welcome, my friend.
Hello.
Just first off, please introduce yourself.
So my name is Ashrit. I go by the name Naughty Ashrit in the in-game. And then I am the, how do I say it, coach, substitute, analyst, manager, whatever I can be to make sure the team wins, you could say.
That's good. That's good. So,
Yeah.
Look, obviously this has been a testing and trying stage for Hasib Warriors.
Mhm.
What's the team been doing in the background to ensure that they can get some points, and obviously a big win today? What have you been doing in the preparation for these games?
So other than the obvious preparation, which is all the dry runs and scrims that we are able to do. So we're not able to do scrims like 2 times a day like the other teams are doing, because we have our own daily schedules going on as well. which we have to manage. The biggest thing that I actually had to work on was the in-game mental, because our performance within the scrims and performance in the play day totally different. So working on those abstract segments of the game, I think took a lot more time actually than I thought. So yeah, trying to be efficient.
Yeah, glad you kind of touched on the mental aspect there, Asher, because my question was pretty much pertaining to the thoughts for you guys as a team this stage. Do you kind of look at it as a learning experience, getting to play far more regularly in officials against Southeast Asia to learn and to grow? Is that the belief of the team, or at least from your perspective, that it's not all about just winning, but just growing as a team?
Certainly, learning from the league is a very big aspect. So, like as you might be aware about the history of our region, up to since the last 4 or 5 years, we used to play a double elimination for the LCQ or something like that, and we would get eliminated, and then it's off period for 3 months. So no learning there. The scrim environment and tournament environment are not matching at all. But when we are playing a league in which we have to continually adapt our map pool, our play style, our pacing, so it's obviously the main thing here is learning. But after today's win, somehow with the spicy league table, we may still make playoffs depending on next week. But our main goal is still learning, though.
In terms of learning, what do you think is probably the biggest aspect of the game outside of the mental component that separates you from maybe, the likes of the Bleeds and the Furies of the world?
I would say discipline is definitely one of them. We were not punished as hard in our regional tournaments in terms of not having discipline. Then second thing is that the decision making on the spot should support to do. Playing passive, you should not be too passive. If you're going to go peak, then you should be really confident that you're going to peak, and your teammates should be aware that you're going to peak. So that ability to shift your play style, like I think Brazil as a region is really good at going super monkey in the first minute, then totally AFK. Their entries are watching flank, and then they all go execute together. So something like that, I think, is a very big aspect that we have to work on.
So we always like to get a good picture of the team and kind of where you guys are going. What is the overall goal for Hasib Warriors at the moment?
Goal, I will sound very audacious, but goal is London. Uh, but we are trying our best. I mean, realistically, we should not make it there. But hey, man, if we keep a middleman, common man mindset, then we are not going to go anywhere. If we think Fury is a major team, Leeds a major team, we are just sitting in like India, Bangladesh, we should not be able to do anything. But that mindset will not help. So we will have to get out of the middle class mindset and go forward. I think that's our main goal.
Look, you've got to have a clear vision, and it seems like you're as the coach, the manager, the analyst, the water boy, the physio, the everything on the team. It seems very clear that you have a good vision in mind, which is incredible to see. Is there anything you'd like to say before we let you go, Ashri?
Yeah, firstly, thank you so much for believing in us throughout our some very good performances and some very questionable performances, including last week. And I would like to say one more thing that please keep supporting us, obviously, and do support Knock Knock as well. They do not play as freely as they were in the regional league, but I can tell you for certain that they are a brilliant team. And South Asia, if we played together really nicely, our both teams are equally capable of doing a great thing. So please have a look out on us. Please support South Asia, and we hope we can deliver on your promises.
Well, thank you very much for your kind words to the South Asian region, the team that really, knock knock, they're your competitors. But honestly, it's great to see that you're bringing it all together. So best of luck for the future, my friend. And you've got Fury next week, so break a leg.
Who knows? Thank you so much.